Please welcome to the stage, Paul Richmond. I have been called Chief my entire adult life by strangers. Hey Chief, how's it going? Maybe it's because of my long hair and that I tan pretty well. Hey Chief, where you been? People come up to me timidly and say, are you Native American? And I say, I don't know the race of the milkman. I tell them my grandparents were Polish and Russian. There are way too many stories to fit into 5 minutes, so here's just a few. I'm in New Orleans and I'm looking for a restaurant, and I come to this restaurant, and there's a long line around the building, and I decide I'm going to read the menu out front just to see what the big deal is. And while I'm there, the doorman comes up and says, hey Chief, how you been? Where you been? We've got your spot for you. Do you want to come in? Sure. So I go in. He takes me to the bar. There's a stool. Everybody at the bar knows me, seems to know me, says, how am I doing? Have a good time? I have a good time. Palm Springs, California. I'm coming out of the restaurant, and there's a guy on a ladder across the street. He sees me, he turns, he said, hey Chief, where have you been? So I decide I'm going to go over and tell him. So I go over, we talk for 15 minutes. And then I say to him, I have to go. And he said, listen, my family really misses you. Don't be a stranger. Come and visit. And I said, I'll come more often. I got on a plane the next day. I don't live there. I went to Keene, New Hampshire. I'm sitting outside of a cafe. And I look down the street, and all of a sudden there's a lot of people sitting with me at tables. And this guy's walking his bike down the street. And I see that he's pretty drunk. And I see that he's zoomed in on me instead of everybody else. And he nods. I've learned to nod. So I nod. When he gets up closer, everybody gets nervous because he's really drunk, and he stops and he says to me, hey, what tribe are you from? So I say to him, I'm not Native American. This pisses him off. He almost knocks over the table, and he starts screaming, oh, you would nod in silence to me, but you want to hide among the white people here. You want to hide among the white people. And he gets really mad. He's yelling and screaming this, and he stumbles off. Okay? I'm in South Dakota. Okay? And I'm supposed to do 13 shows. And after the first show, all the students come running up to me, and they're all excited because they think I'm somebody who made it off the res. I'm a star. And they come to me smiling, chest high, and they're all excited. And they say, what tribe are you from? And when I try to explain, they lose their smiles, their chests cave in, and they walk away broken. For the next 12 shows, I do not say anything. When I see them, I smile, and I nod, and they skip off happily. I'm in Montana at Flathead Lake. There are juggling props on the ground, and kids are playing with them. At some point, some parents come up, and they're Native American, and they say, are you going to the powwow? And I said, I thought I missed it. It was in Missoula. And they said, no, that was for the white people. Ours is tomorrow. So I'm given directions, and I go, and they let me in. And I'm walking around, and I'm recording everything that's going on, because it's great drumming, there's competitions, and they're singing, and they're dancing, and all kinds of things. And somehow, though, at that point, I'm only hearing the westerns that I've watched my whole life. And so I go up to a judge, and I say, are they all playing the same song? And she looks at me in such disbelief, like, you can't be that deaf, so you must be really fucking stupid. And so I get home, and I turn on this recording, and I think to myself, I am really fucking deaf, and I must be really stupid, because that is not what it was. It was completely very diverse and very moving, and was not anything of the same. I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I get hired by a bank that has a chief as its logo. This is a big party. This is for the corporate heads. This is for the bank presidents. And I'm hired to juggle, but I don't know that they've also hired someone to be a Native American and to dress in full regalia for the finale. So when I show up, I am the Native American. And they go, why did you bring juggling equipment? We didn't know that Indians juggled. And I'm trying to explain to them, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not supposed to be doing this. And then all of a sudden, the real Native American shows up. And there's an awkwardness. Because he's black. So now, the people at the bank are trying to figure out, maybe you could do the dance? Well, that doesn't happen. We go out as scheduled. When I go out, everybody seems to be disappointed. The Indian is supposed to come out yet. And why is he juggling? This is wrecking our party. And then the curtains rise when he comes out, and the lights come on, and there he is, dressed in his full regalia, a black Native American. And there was a loud silence. At Standing Rock, there are hundreds of tribes fighting for our water and our land as protectors. The earth needs more protectors. I am not Native American, I am not a chief, but I stand with them.